What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building. You feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it. So you already know, man. The Clippers have definitely bounced back with a two-game winning streak, with an elite game that happened on Friday, with James Harden basically having an and one game winner, which is tough. That's tough. And Kawhi, you set him up. Kawhi, you set him up. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? You set him up. You tried your step back. You do that, force pickup shit and then pass out. Last second, 3 seconds left on the clock to Harden, and he created a beautiful step back out of it to the right. You know what I'm saying? And obviously is just that's a tough make, tough shot. The fact that Kawhi had the ball was a good thing down the stretch. He had it for the last shot, but then passed it out, and then obviously Harden created. So, we'll talk about the Clippers and what adjustments they made on this two-game winning streak, and is this something that is, like, is it happenstance? Is it kind of random, or is it something that could be, for sure for the foreseeable future? Like, are they really locked in? Are they really a contender? Are they really nice? So let's go into the context, because I give it that context. Let's go straight right into it, boy. So as you could see, obviously, like I said, the Clippers are on a two-game winning streak. And, they made a little change. They obviously brought Westbrook off the bench. Westbrook obviously is the sacrificial lamb in terms of just he sacrificed his own. He's been sacrificing. Like, if y'all don't know about Westbrook, like, y'all need to stop with the hate and stop with the chatting. You know what I'm saying? Like, Westbrook been a team player from day one, A1 since day one. Like, he been a team player. Started off as a shooting guard, point guard, but shooting guard. Then had to, learn his way through the ropes to find a way how to run PG when he was with OKC, young OKC. Advanced his game doing those one dribble hot pull-ups. You know what I'm saying? The hezzy pull-up in the midi all the time. Was chicken, was bread, and, was lights out. I'm a cash out. You know what I mean? The mic's out. Nope, it's not dead. I'm here, though. You know what I'm saying? You wear those, and that's what Westbrook was basically saying. And eventually, again, KD leaving and Westbrook becoming that MVP caliber player, winning the MVP and having the triple-double in that year and stuff like that is sometimes when you now go to different teams after that. Goes to, well, not different teams. Paul George comes in, a whole new regime there, and then goes to, because he had Oladipo and all of them before, then he now leaves and goes to, where did he go to? Was it Washington first? No, Rockets first and then Washington. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was. Washington, Rockets, whatever. Bruh. When he now goes to these different places, he has to adjust, sharing ball handling duties. For the most part, he's been the main primary ball handler for his whole career until that point. Until now, he's playing with a Harden. Until now, he's going and playing with a Beal, who obviously ball handles, but then took a backseat and went back to, and then now going to Braun, right? Like, he's been at an uncomfortable, unrhythm-like situation for the most part, that now when he's back with the Clippers and he's running the one, he's so used to sacrificing, so used to being the team guy. Whatever the team needs, I'm going to do, And he obviously he has weaknesses, but he still tries within the confines of his weakness. And obviously you have to sometimes adjust your team to cater to that, like what the Rockets did when they got rid of Capella, because obviously having Harden and Westbrook, Westbrook lacking, shooting and stuff like that. Okay, let's make PJ Tucker the 5 and play small ball and stuff like that. And it worked for the most part until the second round, obviously in the bubble. But, when you look at it just from a Westbrook perspective, he's been sacrificing a whole lot that you now lose what you're used to being. You lose who you is. You know what I'm saying? That same thing with Harden, with OKC. He was the young gun coming off the bench, killing, scoring in the gaps, in the midi, 3-level score. It was explosive going downhill as well. Can shoot the three, would catch and shoot. Obviously, when you now went to Houston with Mikal, he was coming off pin downs. Mikal's an actual hooper. So he's not going to have you just running the PN, same player. Like, we don't hoop like that. He's read and react. So he was running the PNR. He will come off pin downs, pump fake, one dribble pull, post up, face up in the midi. Like, he was literally an all-purpose cleaner. He was just hooping until when D'Antoni came with that system. Again, at your max version of yourself, you kind of lose who you is sometimes. You can't go back to the old you or what you used to do, because this works, which is why Harden lacks the midi, lacks the catch and shoot. Now with obviously the The Clippers, he has to regain a lot of that back. Some days he's gonna look like OKC, older OKC Harden, like an old version. Some days he's gonna look like the Houston Harden because he's hot. It's just gotta read and react. That's what I be saying about Harden. That's what I be saying about hoop, period. No matter who it is. The best players have a natural read and react ability that can play in any system and they'll figure it out because my skill set is unlimited. Even if I haven't applied this skill set in a minute, if this roster, it means Westbrook has to have the one because he lacks the shooting and I have to be a catch and shoot guy and come out pin downs, I'll go back into that now because the skill is just there. I just didn't do it because I was the main guy running the one. But now that, and that's what I be saying about the hoop is everything is everything. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, and I digress, but for the most part, again, Westbrook, again, the whole purpose is he's going to sacrifice. He's going to be the one I'm going to come off the bench here. He, again, with Braun, he came off the bench there. Like, he sacrificed his game when he shouldn't even have to. But, again, he made it easier for the Clippers to kind of, let's try and figure it out. Because they're at a stage where they're obviously trying to figure it out. It's not that the team is not a contender. It's not that the team doesn't have talent. They have a lot of skill sets that do mesh. They do have skill sets that do clash in terms of Harden and Westbrook, but everybody else, I mean, even if it does feel like it clashes, like Kawhi could dive into his off-the-ball game. PG could dive into his off-the-ball game. They don't really clash for the most part. It's just a Harden, Westbrook opponent. So that's why they're like, you know what? Westbrook is like, okay, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice and come off the bench. And when you look at it, let's look at the rotations. Let's break it down to a further level, right? When you look at the rotations, what they've been doing in the last 2 wins, obviously for the first, 5 games that they lost or 4 games, whatever it was, they had 4 of them starting, right? Harden was basically, you have Westbrook, Harden, but Harden's basically the one, Kawhi, PG, and then Zubac. And then when you look at it, obviously they try to stagger and stuff like that. It just wasn't working in terms of how they were moving, in terms of just the play style fit. They're trying to figure it out. And it's culture shock again. When you go from one style, free flowing offense to now this, it's kind of like, especially when you have to deal with the Harden PNR every time, or for a lot of the times, not every time, but a lot of the times. So Westbrook coming off the bench for the last 2 wins, he comes off the bench around the 5-minute, 4-minute mark. He comes in with Norman Powell and who goes to the bench? I'm pretty sure PG and PG stays. He goes to the bench. So they changed it a little bit. So the first game versus Houston at home, PG, I'm pretty sure PG stayed on the court, and when Westbrook came in, Westbrook and Powell came in, PG went to the bench. Yeah, PG went to the bench, and then PG comes back at like 1 minute-ish, under 2 minutes, around there, 1:30-ish, and then Kawhi and Harden go back to the bench, and then now it's PG and Westbrook, and they do that, and they start the second quarter PG and Westbrook until like around 7 minutes, then Kawhi, comes back in with Harden, and then Westbrook kind of comes out, so he plays like a full 12-minute stretch basically, and then they do the last starting 5 for the back end of the second quarter, and they repeat that in the third and fourth. So that's what they've been doing, right? With the Spurs, they kind of they did that around the same time as well too. Remember, for me, I told y'all I would have had it where I would have PG and Kawhi switch, so Westbrook and Kawhi together. Right? Where so Kawhi could get more of his rhythm. But I do understand. It's honestly is hit or miss. It's both. Because when PG is with Westbrook, what they do, Westbrook runs the run. Anytime Harden's on the court, Harden runs the one. That's what they've been doing. So even though Harden comes off the bench, Westbrook comes off the bench, he starts off with Harden. Right? He literally is Powell, Harden, Westbrook, Kawhi, and Daniel Tice. I'm pretty sure that's what they do, right? Off the bench, right? So, and Daniel Tice has been a great addition as well, too. But when you look at it, Westbrook coming off the bench, it's normally you would think Westbrook and Harden will be interchanging because they're both the PGs. They're not going to see that much time on the floor together when that's capped. That's why I was trying to say you don't really have to take Westbrook off the bench. That's not necessarily the full fix. It does help because now you have a defensive-minded guy in Terrence Mann in the starting lineup. So just the hierarchy, the balance is just better just to start out the game. So you're not in a uphill battle. When you already have sometimes, fit kind of issues and stuff like that, chemistry type of continuity type of issues, you're trying to figure it out. At least if you start out the gate running, it's easier to figure out for the rest of the game. Everyone kind of fills in, as opposed to you start off with this kind of, am I the one, are you the one, am I the one, are you the one, Harden and Westbrook together, that now the other team starts off hot, and it's an uphill battle, especially when you make a team in this NBA now today start off hot and they have rhythm. It's harder. They're now gonna make tough shots. Now when you start playing defense, it's not even gonna matter as much because they're still gonna be hitting tough shots. They're in a rhythm that's unlike no other, especially with the skill in today's NBA. And all these teams, if you've been looking, even the bad teams aren't bad teams. It's just is youth for the most part, but at any given night, you know what I mean. You can catch it. So when you look at it from that perspective, you don't want to start the games off in such a, downhill scenario or, which is such a deficit. So obviously that change does wonders just for the, continuity of the team to start the game. But when Westbrook comes in, he still comes in right with Harden. That's what they've been doing for the first 2 games. So it's not like they can't play together. It's just maybe a mentality shift or just a starting out the game for the most part. You know what I mean? And when Westbrook and Harden are in together, Harden's always the one. Westbrook's playing off the ball. You'll see scenarios where Harden is literally running versus Spurs running literally a PNR nonstop for like the four straight plays, and it's working where he gets the short pocket and then kick to the corner, or, Westbrook is in the corner and then now he cuts at the same time with the short roll, like a delayed half a second cut after the short roll. Now he cuts. So then now that guy from the corner picks up the short roll because Harden is doubled at the 3-point line. And then now you got to bounce pass off the backdoor cut to Westbrook. That's another way of making it work. That's what LeBron and Wade did. Random cuts, timely cuts, right? So that's where you're able to make it work. So it's not that it can't work. It's not that playstyle clashes can't work. It can only work in specific ways. And you have to make sure you maintain or put yourself in that specific way as much as possible. It's not always going to happen. It's basketball, right? But, okay, Harden coming up the court slow, Westbrook automatic corner. Don't go nowhere else because you need to be there for this short roll scenario. And you see that. And when Harden comes out the game, now Westbrook's in the game, Westbrook goes to the 1, and PG becomes, because PG's in with Westbrook, PG becomes more of a action guy, right? Coming off pin downs, coming off whatever, getting post-ups, just getting his rhythm because, PG likes to get his rhythm. And then when he gets his rhythm, it's his catch and shoot becomes better. Everything becomes better. That's why I do like it, keeping it this way, because PG being the focal guy, it helps him in the clutch. It helps him in these scenarios where Harden's there, Kawhi's there, and he might just get a 1-2 catch and shoot. That's it. He can now hit it. Because, PG's always going to take more tougher shots because he just has natural fluid ability. He reads and reacts. Oh, he's reacting to your fast twitch muscles. He doesn't move, and you kind of like this. Your hand is down, he pull. Like, when you have that much of a skill, why is PG taking all these tough shots? It looks tough to y'all, but it's not tough to him. This is real hoop we talking about, right? The conversation that y'all don't really, a lot of y'all aren't going to understand. I'm not going to say y'all all the time because it's going to sound dismissive, but let's be real. A lot of y'all, 20% out of the fans are real, either hoop, for real hoop, and think the game and have those intangibles and just can read and react and have that ability to see through past the naked eye and see from the right lens. It's only like a 20%. I'll even drop it to like 10%. The other 10% in that 20 is like, okay, we understand, we Gucci. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of the 80 is just that bronze shit, that casual shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, like I said, again, that little tweak in Westbrook coming off the bench, tip your hat off to him. You know what I'm saying? For just going out the gate and doing that, making it easier for everybody. Because you can kind of get that elephant in the room. What are we going to do? We have to do something 5-0. We can't do this. I'll come off the bench, fam. Because he knows. Like, when you hoop and you have IQ, you know where that kind of gray area is where you guys are feeling like, and it's kind of like, our minds are kind of like not in sync. You can kind of tell when you hoop. It's just reading the game. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of just breath of fresh air. Okay, thank you. So Ty Lue doesn't have to be the one to do it, right? And then now it makes it easier just flow. Just the flow is better. The flow is better. So that's what they've adjusted for the most part, and I do like it. Kawhi is obviously, when he's with Harden, that's when they do the PNR shit, and then there'll be times where, okay, go to Kawhi, you run the PNR, or you get in the post-up or gun pin down. So again, Harden is still playing point guard, and Westbrook is still playing point guard. It doesn't mean it's always the PNR shit every time, which I do like, and I do see Harden adjusting, doing way more catch and shooting, way more pulling in the gaps in the midi. Not often as I would like. He still wastes bare opportunities. He can do a push floater bare times. But, there's easier buckets. He's starting to advance the ball more off a rebound. Westbrook, when he comes in, downhill, sort of increasing the pace to get easier opportunities. They're just tweaking things. You could see it that they're tweaking things. And that's why I tell people, don't overreact. Yes, Harden just coming in like this is gonna be fugazi. Some guys, like, that's why I say appreciate the guys like KD, appreciate the guys like Kyrie, where they cannot play. Remember, Kyrie was vaccine, not even playing, play one game, drop 40. The fit don't even change. Because when you play from a read and react perspective, that guy's always gonna be able to be, just fit in. Just like that. Perfect. Just drop him in. Drop, read and react. Drop, read and react. And I'm gonna figure it out. KD's also like that. Play with the Suns. The same 8-0 once he gets there. Like, as if he'd been playing there the whole year. Like, you know what I mean? Last year off the trade deadline. Like, it's stuff like that. Those guys, they're anomalies, which is why you tip your hat off to them. And look how long it took Luka to finally say, okay, I'm going to catch and shoot. Only because Kyrie came in. So now I'm going to play more off the ball. I'm going to increase the pace. It took him how many years? Part of it is the respect factor, too, of the other player. Am I going to relinquish what I'm a lead at for that? No. Some guys are like that. No way. No, it's me. I do this. And they be more stubborn. Mans be stubborn. If y'all, regular man, you be stubborn. If someone tells you, your girl tells you, yo, come on, you got to. No, I do. Don't stop. Don't tell me that. We're already stubborn already. Imagine now you making bread. The team is around you. The main guy, like, you're going to be even more stubborn. But again, if you really love the game and it's real hoop, at some point, and you see, okay, dog, I'm sussing here. I'm missing, like, we're getting to this, but we're not getting over the hump. You're going to have to adjust at some point. You're going to have to see the film, and the film, that's why the film is like a mirror. Go watch the film. This is why they have the film. Go watch the film. As a team, they watch the film. Individually, mans watch the film. Damn, I was supposed to pull up right there. Damn, I had a spin take right there. Fuck. Damn, off the in and out. Pull that. I did an extra move and out to a tougher shot. Like, if you really analyze the game like that, I've been doing that. This is why I can see the game the way I've been seeing. Me hooping, I used to do that from even high school, my own footage. In the cut, just watch. Yo, dog, you had to pull. Dog, I have a mirror. I can see myself with the mirror. Mans don't need to see that. You know what I mean? When you really look at yourself with a real mirror and you really sit back, I'm a waste man for that take. That's horrendous. I got to do no emotions involved. Just real. If you love the game for real, for real. I'm talking about for real, for real. We talking for real, for real. Like, we're not talking about you love the game, but you love the game by playing it one way. If you really love the game, you're going to get better at all phases of life. KD do that. Real hoop shit. Still going to get better. I'm going to talk about that later. But this is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, you got to understand, okay, you know what? Is real hoop shit going on. I do like what I'm seeing in terms of and they didn't allow it to get to a 6 game. They didn't allow it to get to a 7 game. That Harden step back remind of that game winner was like a monkey off the back. It's more similar to, like, you remember the playoffs that the Bucks won. There's literally game 1. Was it game 1? Game 1 or 2? No, game 2. They did the same shit. Lost to the Heat again in game 1, upset. Then now game 2. It was about to be a game again. About to be 2-0. I'm pretty sure either 2-0 or 1 of them. It's about to be the same shit again. And then what happens? Chris Middleton hits a game winner that goes to Milwaukee that, oh my God, monkey off our back. Where that if you lose that one, it could have a real detriment. You can now the snowball. It's like a snowball going and then someone just punches the snowball. But if it picks up speed right there, you don't win this game, it's gonna go. That's momentum. That's the stat sheet. Don't see that. Only if you hoop, you understand. It's a feeling. It's like rhythm. It's a feeling. You know what I'm saying? So I could feel it, which is why Kawhi screamed the way he screamed off the Harden step back versus Houston, the and one. That was like, whoo, monkey off our back, and it was Harden too. It was like, okay, you're here. You're not a shell of yourself, type of thing. You know what I mean? That was what that was. So like, when you look at it from that perspective, like that's why Kawhi on a regular season game, Kawhi, and also part of an in-season tournament. Like I really like the in-season tournament as well too. Like the games are more aggressive, they're more playoff type of atmosphere. Just the court change, it gives you some type of. So NBA, y'all better do something about these playoffs. If you could change the court in sync, Tuesdays, Fridays, change the court like this, and the jerseys, and do all this, symmetry, cohesion. Y'all better bring back the trophies in the finals on the court, yo. You better bring back the finals logo. You better bring back the NBA playoff logo. Some of y'all better bring back the crowds with the same all the jerseys like that. All the one color crowd, all wear black, all wear white, all wear red, whatever it is. Y'all bring that shit back. That was fire, yo. The mid 2000s, that shit was elite. Go back and watch if you ain't seen. That's nostalgia. That it's like when you look outside and you see Christmas trees all the place and it's like, oh, it's Christmas time. That's what that did for the court. That finals logo, oh, it's finals time. Oh, yo, this is it gives a different feel, energy, aesthetically. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to bring that shit back, yo. Instead of just these, like, come on, fam. Man's just wearing home jerseys on the road. Like, the man's just doing that in the finals, fam. Looking for gay. Like, come on, fam. I don't want to know it's finals just by seeing YouTube TV. Like, I want to see it on the court. I know it's finals. Just like you see it's it's in season tournament time. That's the one thing I don't care about if the courts look ugly or not. The fact that they're able to switch like this, and it's like, okay, every arena is like, this is something. This is something. The court, the stanchion is different. Everything is different. Y'all bring that shit back for playoffs and finals time, yo. We can really do something. Anyways, my fault. That was a rant. But for the most part, again, with the Clippers, like, I love what I saw. That was a real intense game, that Houston game. Again, they got it back again with a win for San Antonio. You can see the chemistry, the continuity. Again, increasing the tempo, doing little tweaks. Little tweaks. That's what I was saying. It's not that it's over. It's not that it's not that I said out the gate is the chance that y'all think is gonna be like this. No. I don't even think you'll ever get to this point. Just because there's certain clashes that is hard to kind of overcome. Right? It's hard to overcome certain things. But again, I said the only way it could go to here is if Harden is the one. If he changes his game and he's pulling up in the midi, he's doing a lot of these things, which he's slightly adjusting here and there, and little moments he's doing. He's catching and shooting way more, stuff like that. But if he's Magic, he's catching and shooting, and he's actually hitting his catch and shoot like an actual shooter. And now he's shooting in the gap, and now he's a different level. He doesn't have to average 25. He can average 18. It's just how your 18 comes. If it's not always PNR off, you know what I mean? And he's now doing these, and he's just playing, and he's pushing the tempo, like he's been doing. But now he gets better, and he gets better at it, and gets better at it, and gets better at it. The Clippers will be here in terms of the best version of themselves with that roster. So that's why I said they could get to that point. It's just is Harden going to do that? Is Harden going to finally be like, yo, I have to, yo? That was what my guess was no, because I've seen it too much. But sometimes after the last one, it could be like, okay, yo, you know what I mean? After that commentator, that announcer ethered him. Okay, maybe I have to. Maybe at some point. And it would be with Ty Lue. Ty Lue's a real hooper. So, you know what I mean? He's the same man that said, LeBron, the shot's not for you. It's for Kyrie on Steph. That's what we want. He's the same guy that he don't care about what it should be, the politics. We gonna rock. The game is the game. We're gonna rock with the game right now. We trust the game over everything. And whatever the game's telling us to do, we're gonna do. We're gonna be in tune and read it and react and use it. Kyrie hot, Kyrie killing Steph. It's his moment. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, you don't have a bag like that. Inbound. You have nothing to do with this play. You don't even have Curry guarding. Get out the way. Just inbound. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, that is why there's still a chance. I didn't assume Harden was going to do that, but this would be the one scenario that Harden fixes everything. It would be here. And that's why I'm still hopeful for them. That's why I'm still like, the Clippers are still the Clippers. They're not a shell of themselves. They might have obviously at the beginning got worse in terms of like, the Clippers used to be, let me explain like this. The Clippers were a team that, because of their skill set, because of their talent, they're a team that's why you'll see them. It was so frustrating to watch them. That's why they were able to feel comfortable enough to, I can load manage, I can rest, because they were just a plug and play. They, even with all this not playing, they still got to the second round, even with Kawhi injured. Almost beat the Suns. You know what I'm saying? With PG having that one playoff series. Still like drop because it don't matter. Mans can read and read. They do the small ball. They have the perfect, they have the perfect blend, the perfect mesh. So that's why their thing was, okay, let's actually get more regular season games. It'll be a whole different story. But now when you switch it and you have we have to clash here, we clash here. Okay, they're not used to that. There used to be no clash. No matter who was there. Beverly, no matter who. You know what I'm saying? So now when you have it, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. But I do like the minor tweaks that they've done, and I do like what I'm seeing. So you already know. It's True Talks. It's True Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no down here. There's no drought here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. And bruh, that game was a very intense game. I'm gonna eventually break down what I'm seeing from Paul George. Like I'm seeing him tap into his Indiana at a better version. I'm seeing it. A more skilled version. I'm seeing it. I don't know if y'all are seeing it, but I'm a highlight, especially from that Lakers game. What I saw, he's not going to the corners, letting Kawhi be the clutch guy. Because if we keep it a buck, Kawhi be clutch, but he be sussing sometimes in the clutch too. It's like Kawhi. If Kawhi has to get 5 straight buckets, he might get 3. And then he might suss the last 2. Like, or he might get 4. Like, you know what I mean? He don't just be going ape shit 5-5. Like KD be doing, like Kyrie be doing. D-Book be doing. Dame be doing. You know what I mean? Steph sometimes be doing. LeBron sometimes be doing. Kawhi be doing it too. Don't get it twisted. But then there's still like that little, damn, just reverse pivot here. Like if you cut something off, he might just force pick him pat and like the whole play is sus. Like he be doing that. I'm just keeping it a buck. He won't say no pass. Even if I force pick up, I'm going to revert, create something out of the no dribble pull up. That's what I be saying. No dribble creation. It's a skill. Kyrie Kobe bag, right? KD even sometimes be doing that too. Like, no, pick up the dribble and no, like reverse pivot, find a way. Don't, 2 seconds on the clock, find a way. Don't pass to a random guy to now throw it up. Like, that's what he did. Harden bailed you out, Kawhi. He bailed you out. But anyways, you already know. Let's go on to the next one.